what is up, guys? Welcome back to another episode. Whoo! It's been a good time, man, and we've been plugging away here in the laboratory, trying to bring you guys more content, and especially things that are relatable to what you may be going through every single day. And I'm going to continue to plug away here just for you guys. We love doing it. This is our calling, and your support is greatly appreciated. If you're new to the channel, man, welcome back. Well, welcome back. You couldn't be welcome back if you haven't been here before. But welcome to the channel. Do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, smash that like button. Really helps us, man. Push that algorithm. That's what we need. That's what we appreciate. That's what's really helping us grow this channel. On this episode, I kind of wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about the direction of the business. And you guys have always heard me say this, and I'll continue to say this. I come on here and talk to you guys about things that I'm facing in my business. Now, we're out of New York City. Obviously, things are a little bit different here compared to, like, you know, Nebraska. And I'm not Nebraska. I don't know anything about Nebraska. I've never been to Nebraska. I only say that to say that I'm in a different region than maybe you are watching this. But I would imagine that a lot of what we're feeling where we are is the same thing you might be feeling where you are. Where, you know, for a long time, and I still to this day, you guys have heard me talk about maintenance and having scheduled maintenance. And to one extent or another, we have scheduled maintenance and plan. We do preventative maintenance stuff, but that's usually on the equipment itself. But the truth is, the world in New York City has really changed. And for a long time, now you guys also know, before I even say that, as I deal with a lot of management companies and ownership groups, because we're doing large equipment and I'm doing like industrial style boilers and not, you know, residential or light commercial stuff. We do bigger equipment, and with that I deal with a lot of management companies, and the city has changed so much now that most of the rules and the laws favor the individual living in the apartment, not the people that are actually buying the properties and having available space for people to live in. And I'm not here to get into the debate about what's fair, what isn't fair, whether it should be in favor of the people living in the properties or not. That's not what this conversation is about. But it has gotten to a point in New York City now where it's a little bit on the ridiculous side, in my opinion. And I say that to mean that the cost of everything, the cost of living unto itself is very expensive. New York City's got to be one of the highest per capita places to live in the entire world, not just in the country, but in the entire world. Super expensive, rents are really high, food costs are extremely high, insurance, I mean, across the board, everything is very expensive. So with that, I completely understand having projects and situations where we're helping out tenants, people who live there. But you also are choosing to live in New York City, just saying. Again, I'm not looking to get political on here. That's not what this is about. But I am bringing all this up to say that over the years, things have changed. So when you're a manager or an owner of a building, for a long time, when I first came into the business, they were offering major capital improvements. So if you put in a $200,000 boiler from top to bottom, right? We're talking maybe with a separate hot water system and a new boiler and piped in and then legalized through the city and signed off by the building department, that you could go back basically and retain, you know, a percentage of that from each tenant in the building. So if you had a 100-family building, maybe each tenant had to pay an extra, you know, $100 a month, $200 a month. I don't know the numbers. Don't hold me to those numbers. I'm just saying, my point is, you used to be able to put money into your building and get money back out of your building by investing into that property. So a lot of these guys back in the day used to buy properties, fix up the lobbies, fix up the elevators, fix up the apartments. When a tenant left, they would go and completely overhaul the apartments, new appliances, new floors, new paint, new kitchens, like do a bathroom over, really do the works and make it a nice apartment. And then when somebody else moved in, they signed a lease agreement like anybody else, moved into the apartment, and boom, 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 bing, bong, boom. Then a little thing called COVID happened. And obviously, you know, people weren't working and things changed and the city basically shut down and people stopped paying their rents because I guess they couldn't afford it because they weren't working. And certain things I completely understand. But I say that to say, as the years have progressed, the city has taken the landlords and managers' ability to make financial decisions that are in the betterment of the building, and yes, obviously in the betterment of the ownership group themselves. and basically just taken the city into a place that is all about the renters. And that's fine to one degree, right? If you're like a social justice warrior, I get it. But on the other side, you leave these people in a position that cannot maintain their equipment, cannot put new equipment in, refuse to put any real money back into the building. And that's not just in the boiler room for me, right? Like I said, they would go in and overhaul lobbies and really make the place nice. It's where you live. Because of how the city operates, it's really gotten to a point now that maintenance has become more of a do it when the emergency hits as opposed to do it to maintain the equipment. On top of that, even replacement of equipment has basically just died off. Now, I'm not saying it doesn't happen, because it has happened. But, you know, the years of going in and doing a boiler or 2 or 3 in the off season has died. Because now guys are just putting in whatever they can to keep patching it up and keep it rolling, because the city's just not helping them. And on top of that, they've created a lot of local laws where I'm at. So they have, you know, green energy laws and efficiency laws and, you know, the bricklaying on the outside of the building laws and this law and that law and this law and that law. I'm not here to bore you on laws, but the point is, at the end of the day, if you think of yourself and you have a 100-unit building, that's a big building. So they come in there and they see some cracked brick. Now they make you what do they call that? Repoint the entire building. Look how, like, when you start adding up the dollars and cents within my industry, and then like weather stripping and lighting in the building and efficiency in the boiler and insulating all your pipes and venting and all these things. Yes, I happen to agree, if you're watching this, that some of that stuff is a long-term solution to a bigger problem inside the building itself. 100%, couldn't agree more. But with all that being said, how much money is left to really do the things that are necessary? And I, myself, struggle because I am somebody that wants to do the job the right way. I'm not a patch it kind of person. That's not really my style. That's not how I operate. I really like to do the job right. But they've kind of taken away our ability to do that because these guys barely make enough money to keep the... And I'm not crying wolf for the property owners. Don't get me wrong. Like, you're still in a good spot. But at the same time, the city is just putting a stranglehold on these guys to be able to operate and manage properly. And not only that, is... the payments that are coming through to my company are very slow because there's just not a lot of influx of cash for these companies to pay the other people. See, the thing is, when people want all this social justice shit, they don't understand that there's a reverberation that goes through from the top to the bottom, because now you start creating a situation where the building owners can't make money. Well, guess what? That same building owner has painters on staff, not on staff, he has painters that he outsources, he has construction workers that he outsources, he has boiler guys that he outsources, he has electricians that he outsources. So I say that to tell you guys that there can be multiple companies that are being taken care of through these relationships with all of these buildings. Now you cut off funding, or you want to cut the head off of the building owners because you think that they're a certain way, and the truth is you just killed 5 other companies. And then inside of one company, I mean, look at my company. I'm not a huge company. We have like 11 guys. That's 11 families that are now affected by your wanting to, you know, shut this down or shut that down, or, you know, my rights are more important and this and that. And like, what you don't understand is you're actually hurting the people that you claim you're trying to help. Because even myself, even though it's my company, I have 2 kids, I have a dog, I have a house, I have things I have to take care of, I have payments just like all of you, and the same thing for the guys working for me. So if the work just dries up because these companies have no money to pay, then what do you think happens to the little guys? We're the ones that get axed first. So in reality, even though you think you're doing this great thing and you're helping people, you're really hurting the small business owner. You're really hurting other people who are out there working every single day to put food on their tables. And I'm sorry I kind of like got off a little bit on a tangent. This is probably a little bit more political than I would typically choose to get on this page. But it really bothers me because people are so brainwashed into thinking a certain way, but don't really think about the results of the things that they're claiming are really good for society when they really aren't. Like socialism, I'm sorry, is not good for society. But I digress. The point in this video, and I am tying it all together, and I kind of took a long-winded road to get here, but I want to explain this because it's really fucking important to me, is that the days of fixing things the right way are over, and the days of just maintaining and like duct tape is kind of where we are now. Obviously, I'm going to do it in a safe way, and I'm not going to put my business or myself in a dire situation, nor would I do that to the building. So there are some things, but that kind of goes to my point, is like we're just bare minimum keeping the equipment alive and keeping everything going the way it has to the best of our possible abilities at this time. Maybe there'll come a time when the pendulum swings back and we can operate businesses as usual, but right now it's not that time, and it's very frustrating. And I'd like to know if you guys are going through the same thing where you're at. So maybe in the comments, let me know where you live, where you're from, if you're dealing with similar things where now we're kind of like bare minimum to keep the jobs afloat, or maybe there's an abundance of cash where you're at. I don't really know. Where I'm at, we're struggling a little bit. It's certainly not easy, but I'm not here crying either, but I just wanted to share this with you guys because I thought it was super important. It's something you guys can learn from, because at the end of the day, that's what this channel's been about, is just talking about what's on my heart, on my mind, what I think can help you guys grow and maybe get ahead. Like, I've done other videos strategizing on how to, because you got to think about cash flow. So like, how do you think or produce cash flow for your company without having to install a lot of overly priced parts? And that's something we've talked about also on this channel. I'm sure you can find that video, in our network. But again, man, I hope you guys got something from this. If you watched this far and you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, man. Smash the like button, really helps us. And we're super grateful for you guys. If you have a comment, question, concern, like I said before, if you want to, let us know where you're at. Let us know if you're dealing with the same thing. If you want to hear me talk about any other topics, you can also drop that down below in the comments, and I will gladly make a video for you. This is all about education, and I continuously talk off my heart and off my mind. I don't sit here with notes, and even though my phone is here, it's not on. Because I just want to be real, raw, and authentic with you guys. And I think this day and age, that's something that's missing on the internet, and I don't want to be that guy. I kind of want to be a straight shooter, and that doesn't mean that I'm telling you everything that comes out of my mouth is factual. I feel like, at least from my experience, the things I'm talking about have worked or haven't worked, and I'm very upfront and honest with you guys. But I'm also willing to have the conversation, so drop a comment below. We do appreciate you guys, man. I hope you keep killing it, keep crushing it in your business, keep crushing it in life as well. Have a great night. Peace.